everybody, Randy Chafee here, Source One Marketing. I buy from Randy.com. And today is the inaugural, the premiere, the first, Building Wins Live. So I'll give you a quick story about who I am first and why I'm on this crazy show. This is going to be on every Tuesday for sure at noon Eastern. And we'll probably have some special editions, and we may even have some add-ons occasionally with a guest that we want to do a little Memorex for all you older folks, right? Later. But so I'm an old road warrior kind of guy. Hey, Barry Broxman, thanks for being on, brother. So what I want to try to do is, I've been in this industry for a long time, 40 plus years. I'm going to say 4 decades because that just sounds a little like I'm younger than I am. But because I really don't have gray hair, I just dye that stuff to look good, look smart. Anyway, so I've been doing this repping and buying for a little period of time in the all in the post frame metal building and metal roofing industry for a long time now. And so back in March, I kind of developed this idea that I needed to go a little bit more virtual because of the whole COVID thing, right? I had no choice. I've been thinking about doing that for a while. And that kind of pushed me over the edge because I thought I'm going to be home for 2 weeks. And when you're an old road warrior kind of guy like me, 2 weeks seemed like a year. And so I figured out, what do I need to do for this couple, 3 weeks to kind of be in touch with my customers more than just on the phone, right? And so as I started learning and I started getting involved with some groups, and I started, hi Ray, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming on. What I started to do is develop this, what I kind of coined, as you see up here on the screen, Randy's 2.5 hybrid amazing. And so what I've decided is that after working this for a while, and it's starting to make a lot of sense to me, which is combining the old world of travel, rental cars, hotels, bang, 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 week after week after week after week, with a new world, which is virtual. Look what we're doing here, videos, a lot more social media and those kind of things. So that's the goal of this show, is to talk about that as we go forward every week. We're going to have a lot of guests. I've got blessed and thrilled to have, I'm into May, I think now, with some guests from the industry. And so we're going to have 3 types of guests, and we're going to have one today in just a minute or two, but we're going to have 3 types of guests. We're going to have customers that you're going to really, really enjoy their story. Eric Bam, good morning, brother. We're also going to have manufacturers that I deal with, because as a rep agency, I deal with several great manufacturers in the industry. I'll have some other people that I don't deal with. And we're going to talk about the industry and where we've been and where we're going, try to build wins together, right? Thus building wins. And then the 3rd type is what I call other value-added guests, which I know you appreciate. And our guy today, our guest today, Wes, come on board, buddy. Quit hiding back there. There you are. So I just instantly, you know what I don't like about this, Wes?
What's that?
Went from the best looking guy on the screen to the second best.
And is there somebody else that I don't see?
Well, we're both in trouble next week, because later in the show we're going to hey George, what's up, brother? Next week's show, which we'll announce later, is way better looking than us 2 combined. So I mean, I'm going to be like, and in 2 to 3 weeks, I got brothers. I mean, I'm like, this is not going to be good, buddy. I had my moment. It's over. But folks, this is Wes Wyatt. And in a minute, I'm going to let Wes talk to you for a minute. He's going to be my sidekick here. He's also my producer and director. And Wes would have been a guest by himself, probably one of the very first. But he's also going to be guest / producer director today, and producer director forever. So I got to be nice to him and tell him he's handsome, because he's got to give me the hook if I do something really stupid. So Wes, before we get started, because I know there's some things that you and I can talk about that I think can bring some value to the industry. But Wes, who are you? Who is Wes Wyatt? Give me the 5 W's. Give me 2, 3 of the. You have 2 in your name, so that's even cooler. But who is Wes Wyatt? Why is Wes Wyatt? What do you do? What's Wes Wyatt do?
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for letting me be on your inaugural show and picking me for producing and directing it. I'm absolutely honored. It's great to work with other mega minds, if you will. But so far as who I am, First and foremost, Randy, I am a dad and a husband. I mean, that is the things that I am absolutely, positively proud of 8 days a week. Wes Wyatt. But secondly, I would say that I am a social media connoisseur. I love absolutely everything about social media and this video that everybody has been embracing during the pandemic. Is not something new. I mean, there's been video around for a long time. It's just now people are finally kind of getting a little bit less gun shy about the Zooms and eCams and all the different things that are out there. Boy, that'd be a horrible sandwich. No deli's going to serve that. I would say that lately I've been a contributor. Is the best way to put it, because we are together in a Megamind group or a mastermind group called Megamind, and I would say that so far as groups are put together, this is not a suck up to Eric Bam, who said that I was Wes Wyatt, but he had put together a group that I feel is the most engaging mastermind I've ever been in, especially long term. Yesterday Eric brought up something that I thought was really, really thought provoking, and that was the number one downloaded app on the Apple Store a month or so ago was Parler, and then the next month the number one deleted one was Parler, so it just goes to show how fickle people are, Randy, and so to be in a group that is so engaged for so long is very, very much a unicorn out there, so it's amazing being a contributor to that, and kind of wrapping our minds around the new way of doing things. I won't say new normal, I won't say any of that kind of stuff, because I don't really agree with it, but I would say that is probably me in a nutshell, is being a contributor.
So and you do your own podcast, and you direct and produce some other shows, including a show you just got off of, good friends of both of ours from the Megamind group, Tim and Eric in the penalty box. So you're doing productions, you're doing your own shows, you're doing other promotional advertising things for companies. So the reason I'm doing this, I want to establish the fact that I'm trying to be a trial attorney here, right? And prepping you as the expert witness, right? So an interesting thing, because we keep up the Randy 2.5 hybrid amazing, and I want to talk about that for a minute, and then I want to ask you a question. I coined that phrase back, I don't know. I remember March 17th is the D-Day in my head. That was the day I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The pandemic was starting to unfold. I don't remember the exact times, but all I know is NBA is getting canceled and the world's ending, right? And I'm at the airport and there's nobody there. And I'm thinking that we had the true invasion of the body snatchers, and I felt like I kept myself physically fit, but they didn't want me, right? Because I'm like the only person left on planet Earth. I literally, Wes, rented a car from Tulsa to Atlanta in case my plane didn't go. And then I canceled it when I got in the air, it got above 10,000 feet. I rented another car, sorry, budget. And then I rented another car in Atlanta in case I got in Atlanta to get to Fort Myers, Florida. Because I wasn't sure I was going to get home, right? And so I spent all that time starting to make notes on my iPad. There's got to be something I'm going to do. Now, originally, 2-3 weeks, right? That's what we were all told. That's what we thought. And then we went further and further. And as I dug into it, I started realizing that there's probably a better way for me to do what I do than just that hard driving 5-6 days a week, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 weeks in a row, to have more contact with my customers and to be there for my customers. So that's where this Randy 2.5 Hybrid Amazing came from. It was my own thing. And now I'm starting to talk to people about it because I think it makes some sense. You just hit on something I thought was important. I hate the word old normal. I hate the word new normal. You know, our buddy Eric coined the phrase once, now normal. I like to use hybrid amazing because I'm really like the idea. Why don't we want to be amazing, right? Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, brother. We all want to be amazing at what we do. And it's a hybrid, right, of old and new, and trying to bring it together. And I think I've grown a lot in that in the last 7, 8 months through people like you and Eric and the whole group, and our Megamind group. So that brings me to a point I wanted to get to, which is in our industry, my industry, the industry that we're talking to, which is the metal roofing and steep slope roofing, post frame buildings, metal frame buildings. We're pretty much a old school kind of industry, right? We're donuts and coffee in the morning, pizza and pop at lunch, grab a burger and beer after work. Thanks, Kellyanne, appreciate it, kid. Those kind of things. So never going to not do that. And I don't know where that's going to play out. Lately, it's been about 90%, 10%, right? 90% this, virtual, doing things. So with all that said, Wes, as the expert in this, should I just stop doing this now? Because are we going back to the old normal? Let me ask that question. Are we going back? Are we just going to go back and just travel and forget all this video, forget all this? Or what are we done? Is this a flash in the pan, as they say? Or what do you see? And as the expert, that's why I wanted to establish you as the expert, which you are.
Well, first and foremost, as you could see on January 1st, things did not reset. The pandemic didn't go away. Masks didn't fly out, like doves at a wedding. No, it's not even remotely close to being, back to a quote unquote normal. I think that we're probably going to be in some sort of a mask or social distancing type situation for a long time, if not permanently. In my other life, aside from being a daddy and a husband and a social media connoisseur, I do marketing for Mighty Line Tape. And, one of the things that they are, basically, known for is floor markings. And it just so happens that, the dots and the little, stickers that you see at the airport and everywhere, telling you where to stand.
Store, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Not to mentioning the signs, that tell you to, wash your hands and keep your hands out of your mouth and eyes and all the myriad of things that go along with that social distancing. I can tell you right now, Randy, the presses are still going.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it's not going to go anywhere. And this boom that we've seen with the Zooms and StreamYard and everything else that people are using, it's not going anywhere either. And then the thing that's going to happen now that you and I have spoke about is someone like you. I got to give you kudos, and this is not a kiss up. Again, I kissed up to Eric. I'll kiss up to you a little bit. People that do what you do are unicorns. And I keep using that because it's really a mythical creature that really doesn't exist that often. And that is somebody that sees the opportunity that knows, okay, everyone else is sleeping. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to start dialing, and I'm going to get back in a digital format of Randy, as opposed to pressing, my hand with them. I'm going to give them a call and hop on a video. I'm going to walk and talk to them. I'm going to walk and call them. All the things that you guys do, the brand ambassador, and I bring up Eric again, I know that there's other people out there that sell, perfect crust pizza liners, but I don't know them. I know Eric, and I know Eric because he is a eat his own dog food, hold it up, have it in the background. You've got your Source One stuff in the background. Randy 2.0, Eric Bam with pizza crust liners and incredible bags, you name it. Those people are going to eat the lunch of the other people that don't embrace what's going on right now. There is no old normal. There is no new normal. It's just where we're at.
It's now normal, right?
That's it.
That's what it is. It's now normal. And that's the interesting thing about normal is by definition, I think, whatever is now, correct? I mean, it's now. And I think, so really, and I've talked, you and I talked about this too before, is even if everything, this growth, I guess, of virtual was probably created because of the pandemic, right? But the explosion, maybe is the better word. But if it was over tomorrow, I don't think we need to go back to the way we were anyway. Now, I don't know what that looks like for me, because somebody asked the other day, I was talking to about this and chatting about my theories and concepts. I can't tell you it's 50-50, 60-40, 70-30. I don't know what that number is right now, because that's down the road yet, right? All I know is that I think we all have to prepare, and I think that's what you're saying, Wes, is even if tomorrow, and God bless if it did, it's all gone, right? That would be great. But I don't know that means we have to go rushing back to forgetting everything we're doing now and what we're building here and just be nonstop on the road. Because I think we found that, well, we need to do that, and especially in my industry, this industry, if I could go tomorrow, I would be probably 100% zero almost. No, I wouldn't be. That's not true, because I'd always do it from the road, right? But I'd probably be 80-20 for 3 weeks, because there's a lot of people I haven't seen in a while, right? So you need to get back out and buying some pizza, grab a beer and a burger. Those things, we need to reignite that. But the difference is I haven't lost, and tell me what you think about this. I think the difference with doing this more social media, virtual things, video text, video emails, this kind of thing here is my customers, they see me, not probably, they see my face, good or bad, hear my voice more in the last 10 months than they ever did in the past. Because in the past, I was like everybody else. I threw on a picture of a stupid dog doing tricks or something on Facebook. That was my thing, right? Now I use it as a business tool, right? And try to give good content, things that make sense, things that could be funny, but there's always a reason for what I do, right? Or try to be a reason, not just post content to post content, right? But I don't think, for me, I'm never going to go back to the full old way. And I think you just led into that, right? That's what you're saying is, with or without COVID, with or without the next thing that comes along, who knows, right? Our lives have probably changed a bit, right? I mean, that's what I think you're saying.
Well, and something else that you want to think about, Randy, before working at home, I spent a lot of time in the corporate world, and I can't tell you how many meetings that I've sat in. I mean, if I had a nickel for every one, I could take, my wife to Hawaii. I mean, and probably stay there for, 2 weeks. Right. It just, it was, a daily thing that, we would sit and go through these just absolutely numbing, meetings over and over and over again. And now I want you to think about the current state where, people realize that they don't have to go into the boardroom. Brian Wagner, who does, a Vision Insight show. He had a guest on today from Seattle, and I used to fly out to Redmond to Microsoft. I used to work on the Wickle team that did the plug and play stuff, and would fly back and forth. My wife was just talking about it, saying, when I first met you, you were this jet setter, and now that wouldn't even be thought of. They would have us on on a Zoom, and there'd be no plane ticket, there'd be no
Right.
expense account, no worrying about people over tipping or getting drunk or all the
Right.
things that the companies worry about. And the reason why is because they're going to shift, and there's going to be people that say, hey, let's hop on a quick video, or let's hop on a a FaceTime on the phone, or whatever the case may be. And they're not going to want to do that, not because they don't want to give you a bro hug or
Right.
see you, because you're right, Randy. The way that you sell, again, to kiss your butt, is you sell Randy. They aren't buying a product; they're buying you that sells that product. And I know that because I know how you are. Same thing with Eric. The people that go above and beyond, they eat their own dog food and become these insane brand ambassadors for their product. It shines through, and it's not because they don't like the other guy. They just know that when they get you or a person like Eric's business card or whatever the case may be, that when they call you, it's going to be boom, and then you're going to be off to the races to fix the problem. Not just a number or a name on a spreadsheet in the CRM. So I feel that you're going to see a lot more people that's, not because they don't want that. They're going to say, hey, do you mind if we pop on a Zoom, or I'm going to send you a Hippo video, or a Loom video, or just a video from the iPhone or Android real quick, telling you what it is I need. And then if you could get back with me and let me know, it'd be a big help. And the reason why is because that's what they've been doing this last 9 months that was supposed to be 2 weeks.
Right.
So
Well,
I think that's where we're going.
and a good point. And I think the other thing that I've found, Wes, is that the amount of efficiency that I have, and still, I mean, we're face to face. Now, is it the same as shaking hands and giving a bro hug? Of course not. But it's the next best thing to it, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Face to face, we're chatting, and the literally 7 minutes before you and I got on off air for a few minutes, I was on a phone call. I was doing a video to a customer. When we get done here, it is I'm gonna grab lunch quick. I've got 3 Zooms this afternoon, right? So the difference is I can't do all those things in one day. And do airports and rental cars and windshield time and all those things, right? I can get so much more done in a day or a week or a month. And what that does is it creates a better balance for me just as an individual, as a grandpa and a great grandpa now, and as a husband and everything else, right? It gives you more time for some balance, and I get way more done. And that's the part of what I want to do as we have more guests come on this show, and as we continue, that's one of the things that we're not going to talk about this every day. There's a lot of other things for us to talk about, but I wanted to set the tone because the amount of effort or the amount of I guess not effort, but the amount of things, if you will, that you can get done in a day's time. Like, for example, I remember doing a Zoom meeting a few months ago with a distributor. Prepared a little bit, which you prepare for a meeting, right? 45 minutes in the meeting, and boom, they're off to doing what they need to do. I'm off to doing other things. I didn't have airports to go to. I didn't have rental cars to go to. You think of the cost by itself, not that that's the only reason, because I will be back seeing customers as I can, because that's, as you said earlier, my customers need to see me, and I want to see them, right? But it's such an augmentation, and that's the word I like or use. I'm not sure I can spell it, but is this I say a lot of things I can't spell, including Siri can't figure out for me. But anyway, I think it's a great augmentation to, if you want to take, for lack of a better term, the old way of doing things, right? And you augment the old way with the new, and you augment the new with the old, and that's where I come up with hybrid, right? We hybrid it. And the nature of hybriding is that'll bounce around from week to week, month to month. I mean, I'm not saying right now I have no shows. the last show was supposed to be one. I was supposed to be in Cincinnati in December. That got canceled. I think I was supposed to be one next week, I think. But that's gone. I mean, there's nothing now till I think April or May, and the chances of those are probably not going to happen. So the point is, I need to be able to be in front of my customers, whether it's new customers. And the beautiful thing, a little quick story about that is, I have a customer out in New York State that the first time I met him in between phases of this whole world of lockdown, right? I'd never met him before. When I showed up, he walks out the door. Now, of course, he knew I was coming, but hey, Rand. I said, hey, Andrew. I mean, we knew each other because we'd done several videos together. And I think a key thing here that I like, that I want to bring up as we start running, because I want to kind of keep this at 30, 35, 40 minutes at the most. But Liz just popped up. So there's two things. I'm a tactician, right? I'm a sales guy. And I use that term loosely because I'm really a help other people get what they want or need kind of guy. I think that might have been a Zigism or something, but that's what I do, right? I don't really sell people. I assist people in getting what they need. But with that said, I'm living what I'm talking about, and what we're going to talk about, you and I, what we're going to talk about with our guests next week, and on and on and on, is I'm not trying to sell webinars and seminars and books. And I love all that stuff. I buy them. I buy way too many. I can't read all I buy sometimes. But anyway, the bottom line is this. I'm all in because Liz that just popped on there a minute ago is my marketing assistant. I have a full-time girl that just, her world right there is to do, okay, so I can't text well, but her whole world is to make me look better, do videos for me, pretty up my videos, make things happen, yes, and make myself readable. And so there's a cost involved in that, right? I made the option to have a full-time person, that's how much I believe in this. And then secondarily, it leads into, with you, Wes, is I don't think you're doing this for free, right? Doing the promotion or the production and directing, nor should you. So I'm willing to step to the plate, and that's how much I believe in where this is going. And Brian put something on, and I think he's 100% right. Once it's safe and once it's okay, I don't want to ever be construed to say that we want travel. That's thus the hybrid. Because if I was perfect, if I was going to be and I know there's some people out there, we're never going to travel again. We're never going to go back to doing. I don't buy that either, especially in my industry. I don't buy that either. I believe that we're going to be hybriding the two. And I appreciate Brian's comment on that because I don't want to ever be construed as this Randy that wants to be all 2.5 virtual and never wants to leave his office, because believe me, I'd head to the airport today if I could, because I enjoy that. I enjoy my customers. I enjoy the relationship part. But I think that everybody that does what we do now in my industry that we're talking to, if we can augment in the times we can't travel, it might be not even augmenting, that's all we can do sometimes, but then we can use that as an augmentation when we get back to being able to travel. Just think, if you make a trip for a week and you can follow back up with a video, with a virtual call, with a Zoom meeting, with whatever, we can just force multiply. And that's been probably the other thing, and we'll talk about that as we get down the road with these shows every week. It's been a big force multiplier for me, and I think that's something that we can continue to build upon too. So I know we're kind of getting close to the time frame. I think we kind of wanted to stay with what else, Wes? What else? What have we talked about that we should?
Well, you brought up Brian. As you well know, and the people out here don't, is Brian handles online or live events.
Correct.
And the one thing that you talk about things being canceled, to bring Mighty Line tape up again, we have a safety show that we do here in Ohio, and it's funny because I was loading the car last year when I have back problems, and when I was done, I was like, oh my gosh, this is just going to be brutal, because I was going to be doing the show by myself, and that's when I got the call that everything was being canceled. But and this year they're doing it virtual.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that people just don't realize when they do that is the touch that you lose. There's something about holding tape in your hand, or any product in your hand, if you can, or feeling a sample, or whatever the case may be, and being able to talk to people about the stuff that something you and I spoke about off camera, Randy, and this is something that I would tell everyone to do. Mike Koenig, great marketer out there, come up years ago with a thing called the 10 by 10 by 4 method. If you guys, want to see something absolutely amazing, go check that out. Shout out to Mike Koenig. But what he talked about in that was doing 10 frequently asked questions. And then the other 10 of the 10 by 10 by 4 is 10 should ask questions. And it's those should ask questions that are money in the bank. It's the things that you wish people would ask, but don't. And so SAUs, S is in Sam instead of F is in Frank. So, if you have a situation where you're live and you can do the preemptive strikes with information such as that, the stuff that no one ever asked, but you wish they would, it again, throws yet another layer onto that Randy 2.5, because they're going to say, man, I never even thought of that. But you did, because you've done it over and over and over again. So even though we do have to get back to, whatever the next version of normal is, I do think that you're absolutely right. This stuff is great, but there's got to be a point where, you can go and press, hands again. And who knows if people will be shaking hands. I shake hands, I hug,
Yeah, me too.
but, and then I go and use hand sanitizer if I need to, but I'm going to shake your hand.
Well, exactly. When we get into it, I think this might have been on when another show you produced, Eric and Tim's penalty box. But exactly, Brian, you're 100% right. We do need the road, but I think didn't Eric call that the chug or the shrug or the shrug or something?
The shug. It's half shake, half hug.
But I laugh because back when I was in the summer, I did some traveling, day trips, or not day trips, but car trips, and you'd walk into some of these guys, and it's funny is you walk in and you're both happy, they're happy I'm there, and I'm happy to see them, but we're both doing the kind of leaning in, reaching out, not reaching out. Do I shake hands? Do I fist bump? Do we bro? It's like you just like doing this dance, right? You don't know what to do, and I think we're going to work through that thing as we go forward. But anyways, so Wes, unless you have something else, I'm going to we'll introduce our guest for next week and rock and roll on out of here. Good information though, Wes. I appreciate you as a guest. Obviously appreciate you as a producer director. Fine job. But next week, same time, noon on Thursday, Reuben Miller. Reuben Miller is an old friend of mine from Ohio originally. He moved out to Montana and developed just an outstanding company building laminated columns for the post frame industry and roll forming metal. And Reuben, besides anything else, Reuben wants to talk about, this was a guy that took his family, left the confines of Ohio that he grew up in, that he knew, family, friends, relatives, and went out to Montana and he'll tell more about this, but not a lot to go out there. I mean, it wasn't like there we go. Not a lot, just like he had this grown business that he bought, right? He just went out there and just basically goes on the pure adrenaline and on the pure belief. And he asked a question I started talking about the other day, final words on it, is there's two ways you can look at three words, right? You can look at why can't I, or why I can't. Why can't I with a question mark, right? And you have to say it that way. Why can't I go out there and do that? Why can't I be successful in Montana? If he'd have said it the other way around and says all these reasons why I can't do that, he'd never be there yet, right? His life would not be where he wants to be. He would not be living the dream of this. Now, he might have been doing something else great because that's the kind of young guy he is. But it's just really, really, really. Thank you, Stephen. You're gonna love listening, people. You gotta check next week with Ruben. I had him on as an early guest for a reason. I have a lot of respect for this kid, and I say kid because I'm old. You're kind of old, but he's mid-30s and done more by mid-30s than most people do in their lives. And so next week, that's it. If nothing else, man, we'll just rock and roll and get out of here. And last thing I'll say, anything else, Wes, from you today?
No, I'm just absolutely digging your show. I will tell you that doing double duty, whether it's on the penalty box or on this, is a little cuckoo. Making sure that everything is up and all the comments and whatnot are showing. But I can't thank you enough for being the first guest on your show, Randy.
Well, you're welcome. I think it was timely and it set a tone. And I look forward to us bouncing a lot of stuff together as we move forward together doing this. So all I'll say to everybody until next week is, you've got one life, right?
That's right.
You need to live it. You need to love it. You need to own it. Okay? Go make this your best day ever. Till tomorrow. See y'all.